Hey everyone, and welcome to a review for No Funny Business by Amanda Aksel. This is a library edition. Excuse me. Came out with the epilogue. It does have an epilogue. 314 pages. I ended up giving this one a 4-star. We are following Olivia and Nick is his name. Right? Yeah, Nick Leto. They're stand-up comedians. Olivia starts out working with a law firm, but her dream is to become a stand-up comedian, so she blows certain job responsibilities off to win an opportunity to stretch her funny legs, so to speak, comes up. Yeah. And Nick ends up, he's going to have an audition, or he is going to do some not an audition. She is going to have an audition. Olivia's going to have an audition. But she has to go on a road trip with Nick across the United States from New York, with a stop in Texas, which is where Olivia is from, a couple other states, and they end up in Los Angeles. Has an audition for this TV show. It's a romance. Things ensue, obviously, between the two. The main male lead, Nick, female lead, Olivia. So, yeah, I mean, it was cute. It was really cute. There were a couple of parts that had me giggle. And that's basically the point of it. I had a good time reading it. I enjoyed it. I mean, that's the biggest thing. They get to know each other. Romance blossoms between the two. You have the standard third act conflict, which is usually miscommunication. But there's a little bit more of an urgency to this one because there is a deadline to get to the audition. So they can't talk things through. It's like this thing happens and they can't talk any of it through, and because she's got to get to this audition. So, okay, written by Amanda Aksel. She did write Delia Shuts Up. I do want to read that. I liked the writing. This particular book was published by Jove, New York. Jove, New York is what it's, at least what it is in here. It says it right there. But when I turn the page and look at the copyright, which this was published in 2022, it says this is a Jove book, Berkeley and the Berkeley and B something are registered trademarks of Penguin Random House LLC. So Penguin Random House. I listened to an audiobook version along with this one, which was narrated by Amanda Ronconi, I believe is how I had it. 8 hours and 46 minutes for the audiobook, so not bad. So things that come up, you have death of a parent comes up quite a lot. Divorce comes up. An affair is mentioned or just lightly touched upon. So as far as sex scenes, one does get spicy. One is more kind of leading up to it, and then you know that they had sex. So more closed doors. So there's one spice, one closed door. Words. You have hoe comes up once, scrotum once, dick 3 times, laid, like he's gonna get laid 1 time, grind once, penetrated once, screw 4 times, arousing once, threesome once, masturbation mentioned twice. The word sexual comes up 6 times, fuck 10 times, orgasm 13, and there's a big conversation with when women fake it. So, another thing that you have that comes up is that you have basically you have a mom, a dad, and a child, and one of them decides basically that's not life for them, and they leave, and they abandon the spouse and the child. Other words that come up, you have boner, prick, both once, whore twice, butt, like your booty, 3 times, anus twice, Jesus 3 times, tramp once, bitch. 11 balls twice. So that is quite explicit with the words. The word sex comes up at least 22 times. And remember, this is just a very basic minimum count. I could have missed some of the times this came up. You have the phrase pop cherry. which is a sexual thing, comes up once. Foreplay comes up twice. Hell comes up 25 times. Boob twice. Lord 12. Asshole once. Tits once. Shit 48. The word horny comes up twice. A couple other words that come up. Wood is used in place of erection once. Virginity 3 times. And that's one thing that kind of bothered me, is it kind of alluded to someone being older, like in their mid to late 20s. I mean, the main female character is like 28. I don't know, something comes up of how it's odd, and it just, there's nothing wrong with being an older person and being a virgin, nothing wrong with that, but it was just kind of frowned upon. I don't like it when that happens. The term wet dream came up once, bastard twice, horn dog once, variations of God came up 31 times, damn 36, and ass 36 times. So, sorry, I got a little quiet there with some of the words because my mom is in the house and she don't like any of those words. I don't either, but I'm giving you the stats of what's in here so that you'll know more. For example, with all of that stuff in there, especially with that spicy sex scene, but if they were both closed-door romances or romance scenes, sex scenes, my mom probably would have been intrigued to read it. However, knowing that these words are in here as often as they are, she would pass. So that's part of why I'm doing this, so that you know whether or not this is something that you want to read or not. With all of the, it's a very sexual book, okay? I giggled at times. It was great. So yeah, I enjoyed it. So again, 4 stars. I don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's your standard romance. There's lusting. The romance ensues. There's talk of sex and obviously a lot of sexual stuff in this. And then you have the third act conflict for whatever reason, which this is like a misunderstanding, miscommunication type of a situation, which is usually the case. And another thing is that Nick is a smoker. And so do keep that in mind as well. And she comments on it as how, and she tries to be like not attracted to him because he smokes. So there's that as well. One thing as far as sexual diversity, nothing is mentioned. Racial diversity, man, it's like I couldn't tell you if this was all the characters were black, all of them were Hispanic, all of them were white. There's no mention of any of it, and at least that I can tell. And remember, I think one person's possibly from Germany, but that's pretty much it. So all the characters seem like they could look exactly the same. So I would have liked to have seen a little bit more diversity as far as that goes, but that's pretty much it. So those are the stats and my thoughts on it. I felt like there was no diversity. Size-wise, as far as like plus size, healthy size or underweight, racial, ethnic, and sexual diversity, there was none of that. But just so that you're aware. But it was still a fun read. It was still comedic at times. And I still had a good time. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Let me know if you've read this or anything else by Amanda Aksel. And talk to me in the comment section below. Until next time, stay true to yourself and enjoy a good book. And I'll talk to you later.